Today, we will begin counting down the 9 unmistakable signs that you are a lone wolf. If you are a lone wolf, it means that you are an individual who prefers to roam the world alone and who is frequently misunderstood. In truth, lone wolves are merely folks that enjoy thinking and acting independently and prefer to handle issues on their own. Despite not always being the life of the party, they are almost always the ones who complete the task. If you like to go in alone, you can identify yourself in some of these characteristics. They are fairly quiet and reserved, since they do not feel the need to discuss every aspect of their lives with others. There is a propensity for lone wolves to be quite choosy about who they allow into their inner circle. This makes them extremely selective about who they let in, which may attract individuals who don't know them very well. They give off the image of being secretive or even aloof, but this is simply how they choose to behave in social circumstances. They need not feel compelled to divulge everything to the wider public, and it is completely acceptable for them to keep some things private. This in no way suggests that they are inaccessible or unwelcoming. However, they are clear and do not sugarcoat anything. Those who live alone in the wilderness are straightforward and honest. They do not put on a fake front or act as though they are someone else. Simply said, people prefer communicating in this manner, even if it can occasionally make them sound disagreeable or harsh. They are not interested in excessive coding or idle conversation. They would prefer to convey the meaning behind their words. Those who are used to interacting with people who always attempt to conceal their feelings, even if they are not always successful, may find the following information useful. This can be a welcome deviation from the norm. They discover that time alone allows them to recharge their batteries. People who like to spend time alone typically dislike settings in which they are constantly surrounded by others. People who are accustomed to being continuously surrounded by others may find it difficult to adhere to the natural behavior of lone wolves, given that lone wolves naturally behave in this manner. In contrast, lone wolves prefer to engage in meaningful conversation as opposed to idle chatter about irrelevant things such as the weather or what they had for lunch. In contrast, lone wolves prefer serious communication, but they are fully capable of engaging in casual chat when the situation calls for it. They frequently favor more in-depth conversations. Many individuals have the idea that lone wolves are unsociable or do not get along with others because they prefer their own company. Contrary to this, the situation is not as described. 6 of them are independent individuals who live their lives according to their own standards. Despite the fact that lone wolves are often the most vocal individuals, you can always count on them to have strong opinions that they are not afraid to express. They are the same kind of individuals that are not scared to be themselves, allowing them to follow their own objectives and act independently. Despite the fact that this independent attitude is often mistaken for aloofness, wolves simply do not adhere to conventional norms. Despite the fact that this autonomous attitude is often misunderstood with aloofness as the 5th lone wolf, you do not need anyone else's permission to carry out your ambitions. They engage in deep contemplation, which is sometimes mistaken as a sign of insecurity. In reality, lone wolves only use it to communicate with themselves on a consistent basis. They never ceased contemplating who they are and what they wish to achieve in life. They are always considering their own actions and their motivations. It has an effect on their maturation and acquisition of knowledge. Therefore, it contributes to their general strength. Constant introspection is both a strength and a weakness exhibited by wolves. While allowing them to evaluate their own intentions and actions, it may also result in moments of overthinking and hesitation. Self-reflection is a positive attribute that aids lone wolves in remaining connected to themselves. Although they may look stubborn to others, they simply prefer to complete work on their own terms and are overwhelmingly autonomous and self-sufficient. If you're a loner, not everyone will respect your need for independence, but that's okay. They would rather handle things on their own rather than rely on others. They are capable of handling matters without aid from others. Despite the fact that some may perceive you as independent, you are aware of your reliability and are unafraid to seize opportunities. Furthermore, you can collaborate successfully as necessary. Don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it, and always be happy to assist others. Simply put, you do not mind deviating from the norm and prefer doing things your way. Third, they are comfortable being alone. Lone wolves view this as an opportunity to refuel and recover, whereas others may view it as a sign of loneliness. They are completely comfortable spending time alone and do not require frequent companionship. A lone wolf is quite social when it chooses to be so. Therefore, this does not imply that they dislike social interaction. However, being alone does not disturb them. A lone wolf is accustomed to working alone, but some might consider this a flaw. You view it as an opportunity to focus on your own objectives. You can remain motivated and focused on what is essential. As a result of this way of thinking, they also have a reserved manner. This does not suggest that they do not enjoy socializing, despite the fact that they often prefer to do so on their own terms. They are the type of people who need to be constantly surrounded by others and are always looking for the next party. Lone wolf frequently have a small circle of fiercely loyal close pals. Even while they may not know a large number of individuals, the connections they do have are typically profound and significant. They often find large groups of people to be overwhelming, yet they enjoy spending time alone. They require no external motivation since they are intrinsically motivated. Lone wolves are busy enjoying their own lives and doing what they want, while others are concerned with what they. Lone wolves recognize that it is their responsibility to live their lives as they see fit, despite the fact that some individuals will view this as selfish. They are motivated by their own desires and are not concerned with the views of others. They do not need the approval of others to feel good about themselves since they are motivated by their own inner ambitions. While living alone might be challenging, lone wolves understand how to prioritize their own pleasure and well-being, placing little importance on what others may believe. It is also a highly rewarding way of life. Individuals who embrace their lone wolf status are typically happier and more fulfilled than those who attempt to conform to societal norms. Although it is not always straightforward, it is undeniably rewarding. To help us, please watch this video. Please subscribe and send this video to anybody you think will benefit from it the most.